All right, hey Chipola Nation, we're here with Coach Greg Franklin of the Lady Indians. How you doing, Coach?
Good, man. You doing all right,
All
Dr.
right,
Brian
doing
Craven?
good, doing good.
Yep.
Man, we are in the short rows. Is this the last? This is the last round.
This is it.
We've got 4 games against the 4 opponents.
Right.
And then it's all over.
It's all over. Hopefully it's not all over.
Yeah, no, but
we're
hopefully
still playing.
the regular season is all over. Yeah, so we just came off a big win over Pensacola. And, Coach, this has been one of the oddest years that I've ever seen. This is the first year that we've ever had to play everybody 4 times,
Right.
which I kind of like that. I think
too.
it's more fair that you get 2 and
home and
2.
home, yep.
Yeah. But just had a tremendous showing against Pensacola right after a little misfire against Northwest. But how's your team looking going into the Gulf Coast game tonight, March 17th?
You know what? We tried to work out yesterday, but, kids are banged up. We
Uh-huh.
got one that's got a foot issue, one's got a back problem, one's got broken bone center and cheek. I could keep going, but that's
Yeah.
everybody. Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody in our league has that problem
Right.
just because we always say, we beat each other up so
Yeah.
much just because the competition's so good. I look at our game the other night, and I was really, really worried about Pensacola, and I still worry about going over there. But, we shot so well in the first half, 66%.
Uh-huh.
We looked sharp, and second half we did the same thing. Thought we rebounded better in the second half, but for the most part we maintained our intensity, and that's something that we've been pushing for the whole year, to play 40 minutes. It kind of showed up against Northwest in that fourth quarter, and I don't think it was because of fatigue. I just think we kind of went rogue on ourselves. I did myself. I didn't finish it like I should have.
Right.
I'd be the first one to take that and run with it. But, some things we did, it just let them have some life. And then I also had a tremendous outing by Miss Pola.
Uh-huh.
She had 30, and everybody else had below 8.
Yeah.
But she looked like sometimes in that fourth quarter she was just running a cone drill, some kind of training drill on us, and just going
running
right
around
through
us,
it.
huh?
They were watching the film, but to come back and beat Pensacola that way after Pensacola took Gulf Coast to 2 overtimes, had some momentum coming in here. I thought our kids showed a lot of grit, a lot of character, but that's something we talk about all the time. We're up 40, we're still coaching and playing
Exactly.
the same way, because you never know what the next game's going to
Right,
bring.
and you got to keep that intensity, because the
Right.
next game is tonight with Gulf Coast, and as we know, Gulf Coast is going to bring it to you every single time.
And our fans want us to bring it to them every single time.
That's right.
But that's a great rivalry. Fortunate enough, we've been able to be 3-0 this year with them. But to win out the fourth one is what we want to do,
Yeah.
and what our fans want. And we always want to appease them in some way, some fashion.
Absolutely. But Coach, we're right now we're just a game back of Northwest at 10-2, and of course the top 2 teams go. And I think you mentioned that if we're fortunate enough to win tonight, we will clinch a berth to the state tournament.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's a very important thing. To be able to get that berth, get that monkey off your back a little bit, and not have to worry about trying to get in that large.
Right.
You're already in. You already start to prepare
Yeah.
and start to think about it. But the next 3 ball games after this one, or this one, and then the next 3, you need to close those out.
Exactly.
And try to be a co-champion, or try to, be a champion.
Right.
Win the regular season.
Yeah, finish strong. That's what we need to do. We're second in the state polls, and we're third in the national polls, just a little bit behind, one slot behind Northwest Florida State, and then Jones, a familiar opponent, is at the top of the national polls. Now, I don't want to move too far ahead, but we're.
You've been known to do
I
that
know,
sometimes.
but there's a pretty good chance that if we're fortunate enough to win one of these next few games, we're probably going to make it to the state tournament. And now tell us how that's going to run this year. We're going to play over in Niceville.
We play at Northwest Florida. And we have 3 conferences right now. You'll have two representatives from each conference, and then they have an equation now for, I think they put the Massey poll head-to-head and things like that,
Right.
and NJCAA poll in there to be able to pick out the next 2
Okay.
at largest to go into the state tournament. So that's kind of a wild card. You don't know where that's going to
Uh-huh.
go. I haven't really looked at head-to-head from, the other teams in our league. We played Eastern Florida earlier, so that kind of gives us a little bit of a litmus test against, some teams down the mid and the south. I haven't really looked at what Gulf Coast has done with those teams in the mid and the south. If one of us was happened to be that person trying to get in that large,
Right.
I just don't know at this
Right,
point
right.
because I have not looked at it. But I would think that Gulf Coast would have a good shot, with the teams if they just play out and do what they're supposed to do in their leagues.
Right.
I would think that Gulf Coast would have a really good shot at getting that large, or we would have a good shot at
Okay,
getting that large.
all right. So there's still, even though there's only 3 conferences that participate in the women's side, there's 2 at-large teams to make it an 8-team
That's
tournament.
right.
Okay,
And we've
all right.
turned to that format this year.
Yeah, okay. And then, moving forward, one more step, if you win the state tournament, then you go to the national tournament. Where's the
Right.
national tournament? Is it still in Tyler, Texas?
Lubbock
Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock,
Okay.
Texas.
With Willie and Waylon and the boys?
with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, okay. So the number 1 team from Region 8 goes, but also there's always a chance for an
There's
at-large
a
to
couple
the
at
national
larges.
tournament.
A
Yeah,
couple at larges that can go. I think you need to have a good showing in the state tournament
Uh-huh.
to maintain your energy going into getting an at large. But our body of work, we've beaten 8 teams.
Uh-huh.
They're in the top 10, top 5 this year.
Yeah.
At one point or time, we're in the top 15 at one point or time. So I think our resume is pretty good.
Right.
I think we've done what we're supposed to do to be able to go outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
And play some teams.
And now, how many games have we lost this year?
2.
We've only lost 2 games the whole year.
13
Yeah.
and 2, and those
Yeah.
2 were against Northwest, and actually we beat Northwest over there. So
Uh-huh.
that was a good win. Northwest beating us is a good win for them.
Right.
It kind of flip flops us every time we play each other. One beats the other one, and then we flip flop on the rankings,
Yeah.
and the other one flip flops with the other. But I think that all the teams I've been watching out in the country and watching some film and things like that, trying to prepare a little bit if we were fortunate enough to be there. Northwest is awful good
Uh-huh.
compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think we're right there. It just depends on,
Yeah.
if we're executing, if we keep growing and building a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, because this is the first year we've had a lot of these kids together. We only have 2 returners. So
Right.
they're still growing. I mean, we're only 15 games in.
Yeah.
So they're getting better and better every day and getting more familiar with each other. We don't have that luxury of having people back and said, okay, this is what we did last
Yeah, exactly.
year. New point guard, new 2 guard,
Uh-huh.
new 3, new 4.
Man, that's
So
tough.
the only ones that really have been here with each other is Naya, which played, 10 minutes a game last
Uh-huh.
year at most, and then Isadora, which was an All-American.
Yeah.
So it's good to have an All-American
It-
back,
it-
but
that-
it would have
that
been
doesn't
nice
hurt.
to have 2
Yeah,
or 3 or
yeah.
4 that knew each other.
Right. So
over
you've had to coach a little bit this year.
I've been told that I've been coaching a little too much sometimes, but hey, no apologies here. We're
Yeah.
gonna get it right.
Absolutely. And again, the state tournament is over in Niceville. So if we're fortunate enough, and Northwest looks like they're probably going to make it, we could end up playing Northwest on their home floor.
It's funny. It's not funny because we may have to play each other 6 times. I hope that's the
Oh
case.
my gosh, yeah.
I hope that is the case,
Uh-huh.
and I hope we wind up winning the next 3.
Yeah.
Which would be great. But the thing is that they're a great team, and I feel like we're a really, really, really good team, great team when we're gelling. It's a kind of on a court where we're not familiar with each other. It'd be something to see because now it's a true competitive match instead
Right.
of having home court, which
Right.
they've come over and got us on our home court and we got them. So
Yeah.
I guess I'm not really knowing what I'm talking about
Yeah,
right
they're
now, but yeah.
But we're kind of even on
But in
that.
theory, though, that
Yeah,
sounds good.
and again, now they're allowing a lot more fans in than anybody else.
Yeah.
About
Then
50%.
they get a decent crowd. I think there's still a lot of people that aren't coming out because
Uh-huh.
of COVID, but
Right.
they do have a better crowd than most.
Yeah.
It gets a little loud in there.
I'm sure.
But it's a good luxury.
Well, now, Coach, how's our roster? I know we got 9 bodies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And are we holding up pretty good? No major stuff going on.
Not any major stuff. Isadora, like we talked about, I said I had a back problem. She's had back problems, issues, and she's had to do a lot of rehab on that back.
Uh-huh.
She's gotten poked in that back a few times. She's gotten realigned. I mean, she's massages to try to get her to where she's, at least 80, 85%
Yeah, wow.
right now. And then we have a foot issue. We got Demila Brown. She's got a little bit of a foot issue, sore. She has a little plantar, so
Uh-huh.
we're trying to limit her load in practice as much as we possibly can. She's a pretty good player for
Yeah.
us, so we kind of need her down
Yeah.
the stretch. And obviously Jordan taking shots to her face early, and she still has some broken parts in her face, which you never
Man.
would know that, the way
Yeah.
she sticks her nose in there all
Golly.
the time. And then, we have Mia on the bench, and she got to play this last game, and unfortunately she's been hampered with that knee a little bit. We're trying to get it stronger, get a little more confidence, and it's just one of those things right now. Everybody's dealing with it, so
Yeah.
we'll get through it.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we've played with less than 9
Yep.
and done well, so I wouldn't bet against you. Absolutely. But here we are at the end, so good luck tonight against Gulf Coast, and let's win out and go get another trophy.
Thank you, brother.
All right.